The Miami Dolphins have now won 3 straight and sit a game back of 500 after the 34-19 win over the New England Patriots. That was a one of the games. The first half was incredible for the most part, in the case where they had a 24-point second quarter, and the defense was playing incredibly well. 3-and-out forced after 3-and-out forced, and it looked like Miami was ready to run away with this game. In the third quarter, Miami put up another 7, make it 31-0, and this was again a fantastic game all around, is for the most part. My thing with it is Tua played really well. The offense played really well, both in the passing game primarily. The defense had a fantastic job all around, making stops when they needed to, making big plays when they needed to, forcing a fumble on Drake May that Chop Robinson forced. It's good to see the Rook getting some action. He had an incredible game today on his own right. Tyrell Dodson picked off Drake May, his first game as a Dolphin, and he made a big time stand, making multiple plays and again an interception when he needed to after Anthony Walker went down. I'm excited to see more of Tyrell Dodson. The defense played well in the fourth quarter. You had that weird touchdown they gave up in the fourth quarter on 4th and 13. That was a broken coverage due to May scrambling, but that's whatever. That's a garbage time touchdown. My thing is with this second half offensive performance. And it's a case where you give up a touchdown in the second half through a scoop and score, which is not a good thing. And yes, that was with Skylar Thompson under center. He's not going to be under center much longer going forward the rest of the season because all these games matter that much more. And you need to make sure you close them out to the best of your ability. My main issue is with how the ground game played today, and especially how the offense as a whole played in the second half. Thanksgiving is such a massive game for this season. It's one that they basically need to win. It's not a must win because assuming Denver loses to Los Angeles and KC again, then they can have a tiebreaker over them at a 10-7 record. But the goal is to just win out. So the Green Bay game is going to come down to your defense. Is going to come down to your ground game because of the conditions the game will be played in, because it's a night game in Green Bay and Lambeau and all that. Green Bay's rushing defense isn't the greatest. When I'm recording this, the Green Bay San Francisco game hasn't happened yet, so I don't know how they played against CMC. But the past few weeks, their ground defense wasn't the greatest. You need to be able to capitalize off of that. For the simple fact that to close out games and to win games in those colder conditions, you need to be a physical team that can run the ball down people's throats. Plus, with a defense that can stop the run well and overall generate good pressure. The defense played well today against New England. Yeah, there were moments, especially in the second half and the second drive of the game, where wasn't the greatest, but it was more so that bend don't break style. We need this ground game to work better against Green Bay. It played fine. It did enough in this one, but another performance like that on Thursday night is not going to cut it. The ground game needs to be better. I thought with Alec Ingold coming back, we'll see a more impactful ground game, and it was clear during the game that he was on some kind of snap count. So this was a game just to get him warmed up for Green Bay. So hopefully with him being on damn near every single down, we can see the ground game working a bit better. But for the most part, it just wasn't fully there. Achane didn't have the greatest of days on the ground. Mostert didn't do a whole lot again. It's clear that they're either trying to move away from him or they're still trying to get the whole, hey, you can't afford to fumble the ball thing through the heads of your running backs. Jalen Wright fumbled a handoff in this one. That was the scoop and score. But even besides that, he didn't fully run the greatest. He had a decent enough day. A lot of what the ground game came from were those end arounds, which I feel like could work against a relatively weak Green Bay secondary due to Jair Alexander being questionable for the game. We don't know his status, obviously, just yet. But for the most part, this was an incredible game to have before a massive, massive game. But that second half needs to be honed in, that you cannot have a half of football like that. You need a better second half to close out a game against a divisional opponent heading into what is going to be the game of your season. Again, for the most part, all around, it was a fantastic game. They got a much needed big time win. with the Colts loss today against the Detroit Lions, they move ahead of them in the playoff standings. So that's a good thing. We'll see what happens with Denver. I'm actually just about to go turn on that game alongside the Green Bay game. But with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Again, Thanksgiving, a much needed game for Miami if they want to keep the season alive and keep it going. But we'll see what happens there. Thank you all for tuning in. See you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.